Welcome to the National Tennis Centre here in Roehampton. It's the breeding ground for a lot of Britain's talent of tomorrow. But I have to say there's a fair bit on display here today with the Chipotle British Hardcourt Masters. This is Touch Tennis.
That's me.
There are 21 touch tennis tournaments over the calendar year, and this one was already proving a popular location.
Fantastic, yeah, really nice, lovely setup.
Over 100 people here, massive draw.
Loads of courts, we've got some indoor courts as well.
With a prize pool of £500 up for grabs, play began at a frantic pace, with the first round losers dropping into a consolation draw and the winners moving on through the rounds. As well as an array of touch tennis's most familiar players, this Masters event also provided some new faces to the tour, which pleased tournament organiser Stuart Searle.
There's been about 20 new players as well, which has been a really big highlight of the day, and I'm really proud of that because it's obviously about getting more people on court and competing at the same time. That's part of the ethos of touch tennis.
Searle was also competing in the event, but in a hard-fought match against Jamie Sachi, his day's play came to an end in the quarter-finals.
I mean, semi-finals here. Pretty speechless actually, to be honest. That was a big surprise.
Elliot Seabrook also made it through to the semi-finals as he put pay to Ben Minsky's chances this year. Joining them was a confident Adam Hassan.
I believe I can do it.
With 3 of the 4 semi-final places decided, it left a mouth-watering clash between top seed Alex Ball and Simon Roberts, who despite being out of the game in recent times, remains a giant of touch tennis. And he proved too much for Ball, who was left in a reflective mood.
Coming into the tournament being the number 1 seed for probably the first time, Elliot Mould isn't here. Being top dog, you've got a bullseye on your back, everyone's gunning for you. Being 3-1 up, 40-15, it's a bit rusty. I thought, okay, I've got this, and then I think I won 2 points after that.
Yeah, obviously Alex is a great opponent, and he started really strong, managed to turn it around and keep on top a little bit, so yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
So first up in the semi-finals was Seabrook against Roberts, and the big server felt he had enough to come through this one against the tournament favourite.
Yeah, I always think I can beat him. He doesn't really. His fitness is probably his biggest part of his game. He just doesn't miss, gets everything back, and puts you in a full sense of security. You think you can go for a lot more than you actually can. He lets you think you can attack him. You attack him, and he plays a big shot that you didn't know he had. Because he just plays very soft throughout. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's a game of chess against him.
Well, if this was a game of chess, Seabrook was hunting down pawns early on as he came out of the traps on the front foot. Roberts soon found his feet in this semi though and took the first set 4-2. The second set was much more straightforward, with the favourite really turning the screw here. And he didn't seem to want to hang around in booking his place in the final, taking the second set 4-1. Checkmate.
Elliot's got a massive serve, so the ball slowing down a little bit helps me. I can get into the point, I've got a good chance, so yeah, I thought I played pretty well and happy to be through to the final.
With Roberts now waiting for the next winner, it was over to our second semi-final, Hassan versus Sachi. It was the 27-year-old who burst into this one, delicately winning this point here. Before what can only be described as a tagging to help take the first set. With the crowd watching on to see who would move into the final with Roberts, Hassan did not let up in the second, punishing Sachi for leaving too much space to pass here. And the world number 3 soon booked his place in the final, winning 4-1, 4-1, and he was pleased with the outcome.
Yeah, pleased. Last time we played, it was much closer. Not so many faults on the serves either, so it was a good game, whereas today it was just more about making him play a few shots and just missed a couple of easy ones. So yeah, on to the final. Hopefully play a bit better myself and it'll be a good match.
The day's showpiece final had arrived, and it was Adam Hassan against Simon Roberts, with Rashid Ahmed providing a helping hand from the umpire's chair.
1-1 lost the toss, what happened?
Up or down? It's down.
Won the toss and elected to receive.
So with that decided, we were all set. Roberts to serve first.
Love 15. $15.30.
It was Hassan who started stronger in this final, displaying some scintillating net play.
Play 30-40.
The world number 3 knew that he had to keep up this level of play if he wanted to come out on top of this 5-setter. Despite Hassan's dominance, the first set went to a tiebreak.
Game Roberts, 4 games all, first set, tiebreak.
Hassan deservedly took the first set via a tense tiebreak, and he moved just 2 sets away from taking the title. He didn't seem to be letting up at the start of the second set, showing a deft touch at the net here.
Oh, wow. 30-15.
From a deft point at the last set to, well, not so much here.
Game Roberts.
By Roberts' standards, he had not yet turned up to the final, but perhaps that's where he's at his most dangerous, and he showed his class here to move in control of the set.
Great shot, Roberts. 30-love.
He then held on to take the set with this winner to bring us level in the final.
Game is second set, Roberts. 1 set all.
The two are now swapping big hits for big hits. This was a close battle in Roehampton.
40-30.
The longer the set dragged on, the more important it seemed in the context of the match. And looking back, Hassan will feel at set point, it really wasn't the time to be attempting this.
Game and third set, Roberts. Roberts leads 2-1.
Roberts now had a swagger from the back of the court, and more of his big hits were coming off.
30-love.
However, Hassan certainly wasn't throwing in the towel, as he fought to stay in the final.
Receiver's choice, deciding point.
Was the tide beginning to turn?
Game Hassan.
Hassan appeared to have a second wind when he most needed it.
Oh, 15-30.
Roberts, though, was not about to get blown over as he stood firm to set up a championship point.
15-40. No! Game, set and match, Roberts.
And that was that. Simon Roberts took the title with an impressive passing shot. It had been a real battle here in Roehampton, and credit must go to Adam Hassan for that. But in the end, Roberts just had that little bit too much, and he took it 3-1.
It was a real tough match there. He started off really strong, hitting good winners, and then I think must have bored him to death later on.
Is Adam Hassan?
I don't think he's lost at this for a good couple of years now. Just makes it very difficult to beat him. Even when you win the first set, you know if it's best of 5-set match, you're up against it the entire match.
It takes me a while to get warmed up, so once I'm warmed up I feel like I can move a bit better and then I think he started to look a little bit tired, which gave me a bit more energy.